Welcome to Doulos. My name is Levi Bimba, and this is going to be a preview of what this show will be about. This show will be about what the Bible says about everything. I know that's kind of a general statement, but the Bible talks about a lot of things pertaining to life, pertaining to godliness, pertaining to truth and righteousness and evil and good husbands, good wives, good people, bad people. And the Bible has a lot to say about all these topics that we generally care about. So my task or my mission, more specifically here, is to disseminate what the Bible says. And I don't have a theology degree. I don't have a Master of Divinity. I don't have a certificate of biblical studies. I don't have any of that. And this is not to spurn those degrees, because I think those degrees are very important, especially for people that will be in leadership and that will be teaching people in schools and in seminaries about how to be a pastor and how to preach and things like that. But this is not a formal school. This is a show that will seek to bring truth to people everywhere, because the Bible is for all people. The Bible isn't for a certain group of people, and it's not restrained or limited as far as who can benefit from reading it, because we all can benefit from reading it. And the good news is that the Bible is not a necessarily complex document. There's 66 books in them, but if you can read, you can understand the vast majority of what's going on, especially if you have a modern version. So my personal preference is the King James Version. So if I read or if I quote from the Bible, it'll most likely be from that version or that translation. So, but my goal here is to talk about truth, to talk about what undergirds our reason for existence, our reason for being, our operation in the world. And these things can be known. We can know what life is. I mean, think about it. We talk about, is God a good God? Is he an evil God? I think the most evil thing that a God who is all powerful and all knowing and kind and loving and gracious would do would be to create people who have no idea who he is, no idea how to relate to him, and no idea how to live in the world in the way he would want it, and then punish them for not knowing that they ought to be doing certain things. Now, I think that would be the most evil thing for a God, to create a world and not tell people what to do. The good news is that we do have that revelation. We do have exactly who we are, what we ought to do, where we ought to go, how we ought to live, where we're going when we die. All those answers, all those questions have been answered thousands of years ago, because God has revealed it to us through men and who more specifically were prophets, or heard God speak to them face to face, or heard God's voice and God's revelation of who he was and what he's done and what he plans to do in the future. We have all of that. This is not anything that is new or anything that is not discernible, because God is not hiding himself out there. I mean, the Bible even says that the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. So if you look outside, if you look into space with a telescope, you see the glory of God. You see that it's God who is the creator, who made these things. I mean, when you look at the stars at night in a telescope, you're amazed, especially when you're in a place where there's multiple stars. You're amazed about what you see, because the amount of detail and the amount of stars that are out there, and the lights and the planets and the aurora borealis and all these fantastical lights that we see out there in the sky, they blow us away. And those are the exact things that should be pointing us to who God is, that he likes beauty, that he is powerful, that he's able to create so many different things just by the word of his mouth, as he tells us in Genesis 1. So unashamedly, I'm going to be talking about how God has revealed himself to us and how we ought to live our lives at every level of government, and the family, and the home, And this is not coming from a guy who's perfect or who knows it all. This is just coming from a guy who cares about the truth and cares about the revelation that God has revealed. So if you're interested in finding and hearing and listening and watching about these things, I would ask you to join me and see where we go. And maybe you will like what you see. You can hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll have videos every week talking about these different things that the Bible has clearly revealed to us, because God is a kind God and a loving God enough to reveal exactly what he wants, exactly how he desires his universe and his people to operate. So join me on this journey, and we will, I think, find it enlightening. And I will also be here to answer any questions about the Bible or about what I've said. Or if I said something wrong, please correct me, because I don't want to get things wrong. So I'm here to be of service to you, the listener or the watcher, and I'm hoping I can be of benefit to you. So come and join me on